This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. Go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd. My people, hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my review of the Dynamic Discs Evader. I have the Lucid version as well as the Lucid Air. Big thank you to Dynamic Discs for sponsoring this video by sending me these discs to test and review. DD has hooked me up with so many great discs over the last few years and bags and everything else, and they've just been really supportive of me and the channel. They've really shown that they appreciate and understand the value that you guys as my viewership bring to the table, and I really appreciate that. I very much look forward to continuing to work with DD going forward into the next year and beyond. So, Evader, we have the stock Lucid, and here are your flight numbers 740 and 2.5. I would say those are pretty much spot on from my testing just before we go any further. This one, if I can look, what is the weight on this guy? 175 for this pop top pink Lucid Evader. Really rounded dome on this one. And the blue one you're going to see flying as well, same deal. Big rounded dome on that guy. I did spin dye this one. That's what those purple circles are, if you're wondering. So those do not come stock, of course. And then I also tested the Air Evaders. I didn't throw these as much as I wanted to before I got this review ready, but I did still get a chance to test them, and I'll bring you a few shots with them for sure. I have this one and then a green one. If you're interested, depending on when you see this video, I am giving away a Air Evader for the holidays, so you can look for that link at the end of this video or in the description, or just go check it out on my channel. I'm sure you can find it. 740 2.5 once again for the Lucid Air, and you're going to see right away that these don't have as much dome. They're not super flat, but they don't have as much of a rounded dome as the Lucid does. The Lucid has that really pronounced rounded dome that goes straight from the rim all the way over the top. This one has a little bit of a flatter portion on this outside edge, which I'm hoping you're getting a chance to see here. That might give you a little bit better angle. Always a struggle with shiny discs and new cameras and all this stuff to make sure you guys are seeing this as well as I want you to, but hopefully you can see there it's not quite as domey, and it's a little bit flatter, and then the dome is a little more centrally located, but these have a flatter feel in the hand for sure. I love the Air plastic though. It just feels so nice. This one's 158, so it's not like crazy light. Still plenty stable. Adds a little bit extra kind of hang in the air with that a little bit lighter weight, a little bit less dense plastic. But I just love it. It's almost got like a grainy feel to it in a very slight way. I wonder if I can zoom in and get a closer look at the texture. There we go. That's a pretty good look at the rim profile too, so you guys can get an idea of the way this thing's designed. Nothing terribly remarkable to comment on in terms of the rim shape. It's got that kind of traditional fairway driver 7-speed rim shape, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get you guys a look at it, but there's almost like, yeah, there you can kind of see, there's almost like a slight texture to the feel of the Lucid Air plastic that I really love, and it's got a little extra gumminess to it. And this one just feels incredible in the hand. This one, no problem either. You guys know Lucid Opto plastic is pretty much my favorite plastic on the market through all the different versions going back several years now. It's just a great plastic. Anytime you run into it, it's gonna feel good, and it's gonna be quite durable in my experience as well. So that's the main difference between the two of these, is just the regular Lucids that I tested. Both of them have this big rounded dome. And the Air is slightly flatter, a little bit less glide because of that, but also kind of ends up being relatively similar because then it has a little more glide with the lighter weight. I think these will go farther for the average person probably, but you know, it kind of depends on your preferences and all that kind of stuff. But we didn't really see a huge difference in the way these fly. Let's put them up next to a couple other options. I think the yellow one might be a little easier for you to see next to stuff, this Air one, so we're going to start with that. First of all, the disc that is most similar to this in my bag, even though it is a 9-speed, which is the Culverin. I don't have the flight numbers listed on the Culverin. I don't know them off the top of my head. Let me go look real fast. So the Culverin considered 9, 5, negative 0.5, and 3, and that's probably pretty close. I don't see the Culverins having that much more fade than the Evaders, but you know, a lot of that's always quite subjective. But the 9-speed definitely seems to work better for my arm. I've always been a fan of 9 speeds over 7s. And then, you know, for a lot of 7-speed discs, I often find I like mid-ranges better. I think it's because of my throwing style and just my approach to the game. I've never really connected with a 7-speed, and I don't know if they've ever really made it into my bag either, other than I think the Stalker is considered 7-speed, but that's a very strange disc, almost like a mid-range fairway hybrid kind of disc. And then also the Lone Star Mad Cat 9502. Let's put it up next to this one as well. I just got a stack of these Mad Cats in to test and show off on the channel, so I will be reviewing them very soon here. I think I have 5 of them to test in different plastics and stuff, so keep an eye out for that. But Mad Cat, pretty close to the flight numbers based on my little bit of testing so far. And there it is next to the Evader. So I wish I had something 7-speed laying around for you to put it next to, like a T-Bird or something, but I genuinely don't think I do, unfortunately. So I love the Lucid Air plastic. I love the regular Lucid plastic. I think the feel is great on both of them. Even though I don't typically like domey discs, these feel good to me in the hand. I just don't feel like I release them quite as well as I'd like to with that dome. So let's take a look at some flight footage here, and you're going to see the Evaders are definitely overstable. They have some good carry to them, but not like a tremendously glidey disc by any means. They are definitely slower in that fairway speed range, and I don't throw them all that much farther than a mid-range, if at all. In fact, on my last testing session with these, I was also throwing the Fusion X EMAC Truth, and I was finding it to fly around the similar distance for my arm speed, my throwing style. It could be that I'm throwing them nose up, or any of the little nuances that go into changing the way discs behave for different throwers. But I've always just, I feel like I would rather just throw a mid-range and sacrifice a little bit of distance and then step it up to a 9+ speed driver. That's just my approach to the game. We all have our own kind of preferences, but I do really like the Evaders, and especially when I first started testing these Lucids over the summer. I was a little looser and I was throwing a little bit better than I am recently, and I was digging them for very similar shots to my broken in culverin, where they had that little bit more turn to them when I put them on the angle. Like, they don't flip naturally at all, but if you put them on a little bit of a turn, they hold it and then come out, but in a nice kind of smooth way without really ripping over and then hooking up strong. They kind of take a nice smooth flex out of these discs. So I do like them for sure, and I think they're a solid disc. I think more pro style players will probably enjoy these. They're kind of that type of feel, stable to overstable 7-speed has always been kind of a traditional pro style disc, kind of like the T-Bird, but it's a disc that anybody can use, and especially as these broke in, I think the average player would like them quite a bit, because they should fly nice and straight and still have integrity to finish and fade out at the end of the flight. So that's my review on the Evader. I think it's a solid disc. I appreciate DD hooking me up with these to test and review. Once again, if you get to this review soon enough, based on when I post this, you should still have time to enter to win this green Air Evader right here, along with a Westside Shield as part of my 2021 holiday giveaway. If you miss out on that, no big deal. Keep an eye out. I'm sure I'll do more giveaways in the future. Thank you once again to Dynamic Discs for their continued huge support of me and the channel. I appreciate you guys very much. And once again, huge shout out to the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team as well. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate the continued financial support. Check it out. I will talk to you all very soon. Cheers.